Big news coming out of Houston tonight, a COVID-19 vaccine trial that's happening right here.
A research firm in Bel Air has already made it through one key phase. Channel 2's Taisha Walker is live in Bel Air tonight with what needs to happen before the FDA gives final approval on this. Taisha?
Chris, good evening. Those researchers say they need people to sign up for these clinical trials in order to fast track this COVID-19 vaccine to the market. A Bel Air research firm is in the race to find a COVID-19 cure. The Texas Center for Drug Development and DM Clinical Research has passed the Food and Drug Administration's first phase for the vaccine, says Dr. Vicki Miller.
It's good that these have already gone through phase 1 trials, and so they've been shown to be safe in those trials, and they've had some early efficacy data showing that it looks like these are working quite well.
The experimental vaccine is now in its second and third phases, but in order for it to get potential final approval, it must be tested on people. Here's where researchers hope you'll help.
We are looking for any risk level, although we do need more high-risk people, such as healthcare providers, firefighters, any essential workers.
Thousands of volunteers are needed for the clinical study, which can last a year or two, depending on the trial.
We have a large population and a large potential population of people who could volunteer, and so we could really move the vaccine development further.
With Houston listed among the nation's hotspots for the virus,
Yes,
researchers are hopeful they'll have no trouble finding volunteers. Researchers are hoping to have 300 million doses of a safe vaccine on the market by next January.
I think we'll have more than one vaccine.
And those doctors not revealing what exactly is in the vaccine, but they do say that the COVID-19 strain will not be a part of that vaccine. And volunteers that are interested in signing up for these clinical trials can do so. On our website, we have a link to do so. We're also told that those volunteers will also receive financial compensation for their assistance. Reporting live in Bel Air, Taisha Walker, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Giving our praises, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Wakar Kodash. And double honor to my teachers, the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the Akim worldwide that are sincere and serious in doing the will of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Wakar Kodash. 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 1 and 2 to you all. You have the brother disciple Kushab and Yamyan from the branch of the Great Millstone, Barbados, Ecclesiastes 7 and 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and this is the point, and a gift destroyeth the heart. And a gift destroyeth the heart. So, as you saw on the news, trials beginning in Houston, right? For the coronavirus, right? Proverbs 20 and 17, bread of deceit is sweet to a man, but afterwards his mouth shall be filled with gravel. So with this vaccine trials going on in Houston, right? A lot of people are going to just do it because because of money. Money is their main motivator. And the scripture says, follow not a multitude to do evil. Right? Why doesn't the nurse or nurses or doctors test the vaccine on themselves or on their families? Why do they have to go and get human? Why do they have to seek for volunteers to do their trials? The word trial goes back to the word test. You understand? They are not certain if this will work, so that way it's called a trial. The testing to see if this device or if this experiment can work. And then, according to the data they receive, they could tweak it. You know what I mean? Or they could tweak it, or they could so-called make it better. right? But these vaccines is going to be very, very harmful to the human body. You understand what I mean? And a lot of you people that going to take this vaccine, man, it's like, hey boy, if you, it's going to be a lot of death. It's going to be a lot of death. It's going to be a lot of death. You know what I mean? So the next video we want to feature. Right? The next video we want to feature is this video here. Right? Where is it, my brother? Yeah, so like about that. This video here. So let me go.
An Italian politician caused a political upheaval last week when she said Bill Gates needs to be arrested on charges of crimes against humanity. The comments exploded across social media because of the underlying issue following Bill Gates. He's a fan of a smaller human population. And while he routinely pushes contraception and abortion as a means to lessen or decrease the number of new arrivals on the planet, there's another concern about him that raises even more eyebrows. It's his vaccine mania. Through the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. By the way, wife Melinda is a baptized Catholic and a huge supporter of contraception to decrease the population. The foundation carries out the work of trying to shrink the number of humans. Sarah Cuniel of the Italian parliament attacked her own government's heavy-handed and destructive response to the Wuhan crisis, saying it was carried out under the influence of Gates. She then went on to brand him as a vaccine criminal, her words. She also...
I just want to stop it there for a minute. Not only the populating of the people, but of services as well. That's why we see majority of these businesses close due to the coronavirus, right? It's very unlikely that majority of them will open back. It's right. So it's not only the population of the masses, but also of services. In other words, what the elites are doing, they're bringing more control to them, but eliminating these services and eliminating people. It's right.
Called out the link between the World Health Organization and Gates' funding of it, and caused further uproar when she tweeted out that Gates and his vaccines was just a means to, quote, free genocide, noting that Gates is vaccine happy in poor countries. Recent news reports revealed Gates offered what amounted to a $10 million bribe to the Nigerian House of Representatives for a forced vaccination program for the Wuhan virus. Politicians in Nigeria turned down the offer flatly. The subject of vaccine-happy Gates' particular focus on youth has not gotten commented on either. None other than Robert F. Kennedy Jr., nephew of President John F. Kennedy, and chairman of the Children's Health Defense, is on record on the CHD website saying, quote, vaccines for Bill Gates are a strategic philanthropy that feeds his many vaccine-related businesses, including Microsoft's ambition to control a global vaccination ID enterprise and give him dictatorial control of global health policy, close quote. In 2000, Gates was allowed into India to direct the nation's immunization effort against polio. Under his leadership, up to 50 doses of polio vaccines were administered to enormous numbers of Indian children before they turned 5 years old, and hundreds of thousands of those children became paralyzed over the next roughly 20 years. While he was advancing his polio effort in India, he started up another vaccine program testing experimental HPV vaccines designed to protect against sexual infection. In 1 year alone, 2009, 23,000 young girls in India were inoculated. According to Kennedy, 1,200 suffered severe side effects, with 7 young girls actually dying. As if India wasn't enough, Gates took his vaccine tour to Africa, where 50 of the 500 vaccinated children there developed paralysis. The left is always yammering on about colonialism, but apparently it's okay for leftist white men to use a nation to advance their social engineering, especially a black nation. Newspapers in South Africa took note. Quote, "We are guinea pigs for the drug makers," blared the headlines. So why does any of this matter beyond the level of pure disgust? Because Gates's money opens whatever doors he wants open, and right now, vaccines are all the rage. There's a love triangle between Dr. Anthony Fauci, the WHO, and Bill Gates, an interrelationship that many are becoming extremely bothered by, particularly in light of leftist governors talking about mandatory vaccines and penalties for refusing. Lots of ideas are being dropped into the media about travel cards, certificates to prove you've been vaccinated before you're going to be allowed into a store and so forth. Perhaps the wisest advice on all of this is that same Italian Minister of Parliament who said a resistance must form against the lockdown measures and a refusal to submit to any mandatory vaccine program that might be presented by Gates and his allies in the medical industrial complex. This story is only now taking shape. Be assured, there is much more to come. Much more. God love you. I'm Michael Voice.
Yeah. So you see the hidden agenda of the elites, right? What they really out to do, that's right. What they really ought to do is global depopulation, really a new world order. All right. So a lot of you that take this bribe, these vaccine trials, right? You really are going to be you're going to be sorry, boy. Right? You're going to be sorry that you didn't have more faith, trust, and belief in Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. Psalm 10:2, the wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. You see? So let them be taken, let them be entrapped in their own devices, man. You see? Because what they're doing is satanic. What they're doing is ungodly. Because they are the devil the Bible speaks of. The word devil means deceiver. They are deceiving the whole world. Remember, the scriptures in Revelation say what? He shall be loose a little season to deceive the nations, be. You understand? And his season is almost up. Right? Psalms 21:11. For they intended evil against thee. They imagined a mischievous device which they are not able to perform. So the Lord is going to put a stop to Esau Edom's madness, man. That's right. Because if you don't stop, he tell you in the book of St. Matthew. In fact, let me get there. Right? In fact, wait a minute. I don't want to lose this here. Yeah, okay, let me get it here. St. Matthew 24. If the Lord won't come, then all we gone, boy. St. Matthew 24:22. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. Why? Because this man going all out. He polluting the water, the air, the food, his medicine. This modern medicine is detrimental, man. You understand? And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So the Lord is speeding up time, right? He's speeding up the process of taking on this man's society, this man's kingdom, be. Because everything is against this man. The earth is crying out against this man. The trees, the birds, the animals. You know what I mean? And people, be. You understand? People are in mourning because this devil is ruling, be. You understand? And like you could have just said, if the Lord don't come, if the Lord didn't shorten the days for the elect, say it, because the elect is in the midst of all this confusion that Esau is bringing. You see? The elect is in the midst. So the Lord is speeding up these times for his precious elect. You understand? Anyhow, man, if you're no longer, you done see you done see the post there what they're trying to do.
Up to 50
Sorry?
50 doses of polio.
Look at that there. You see that there, man? You see that there, man? Man, look, man. Esau Eden has to go, boy. The Lord can't come this sooner, boy.
Vaccines were administered to enormous numbers of Indian children before they turned 5 years old.
See?
And hundreds of thousands of those children became paralyzed over the next roughly 20 years.
See? You see that, man? So all the research they was doing, over a period of time, what happened? These children became paralyzed. All kind of things happened to them, man. So, hey, the scripture says, see the Lord where he may be found, call ye upon him where he is near thee.